performances curse.
Hello Central Coast, Gilbert and Sullivan. This is Heather Babcock with your tutorial on how to do your makeup. First thing I would recommend is to get an open-necked shirt so that you can remove your shirt without messing up your makeup when it's time to put on your costume. Do not put your makeup on when you have your costume on. So the first step would be to remove all makeup that you might have on from the day. We will be going into the theater maybe late in the afternoon, and so you want to take up anything off your face and make sure your face is clean before applying your stage makeup. I am using a makeup wipe that will be provided to you at the theater, but if you have something you like to use, of course, I recommend you do so. So we're going to start with a blank slate. And the first thing we're going to use is our primer. I'm using Master Primer with SPF 30 from Maybelline. This is my favorite primer, but it doesn't mean you have to use exactly that. You do want to have some kind of primer on your face to make sure your makeup adheres and stays all day, or during performance anyway. You know, it's hot and sweaty under those lights, and so this would be a great thing to do before you put on any makeup. So you're going to apply your primer to your face liberally, and then make sure you even get your eyes, your chin, down into your neck, and then your face will be ready for your application of makeup. I'm going to be fanning my face a little bit to get that to dry. You do want a completely dry face before you apply your makeup. The first thing I recommend applying is the highlighter, and this is from your kit if you have one. And if you do not have your kit, I will have highlighters available for you. And you find a small brush, and I recommend a brush that it's smaller than your pinky finger, but if you decide you want to use a finger, of course you can. So here's the type of brush I recommend, and then you're going to see I'm going to be applying it to the inner corner of my eye, outer corner of my eye, and down the center. So you're going to make semi-V like that. Marcy, that's for you. We're making a V on the eye. And then you're going to apply it to the tip of your nose, bridge across your forehead, and any spots you might have. So I love this video because you can't see many of my spots, but they're there. And then you're going to apply it across your eyelids, and this will give a nice base for any of the eye products that we're going to be using. Then you're going to find your sponge and your finger, and you can gently dab the product onto your face. So you can see me going into that V motion, and I always start on the same side and work my way out. So you can see already the eye is starting to look very highlighted. Tip of the nose. I have a button nose, and so I'm trying to emphasize the length on my nose. Other eye, eyelid, and in any of the spots. And then the bridge. And you can see me dabbing and brushing, and that is to kind of create a softer face. And make sure that's as blended as you can. Little spots here and there. And those highlighted spots will get covered by makeup, but it's just nice to have them covered so that you can not have any redness poking through. This is the Ben Nye Fair that comes with your kit. I'm using Fair because it's obvious that I have a very fair face. You can use a finger. I just recommend the center finger, your middle finger, and apply it. And you can see I'm not touching really where the highlighter goes. I'm using my finger to apply it across my cheeks, across my chin, under my nose, and then across my forehead. And you can see that this color is very dark on me, but in Seat 200, it's going to show up very well. So we want to make sure that we have the right color for the right skin tone, but stage makeup seems to be a bit darker. And the same application process, dab it on with the finger, and then dab and brush with the sponge. And the reason to use the sponge is to make sure there's no fingerprints and that everything looks fairly smooth when you're finished. On a separate note, if you decided that you wanted to use your own personal makeup, I can recommend that you do that. However, you want to make sure that your application of that makeup is heavier than you would normally do. And then you can see that the highlighter that I've used is still pretty lit on my face. So when we get to the end of this, what we want to see are eyes and lips and cheeks. So even at this moment, my eyes are very highlighted. That is a goal because in Seat 200, we want them to be able to see the expressions on our faces. So next, I'm taking an angled brush, and I will be applying my eyebrows. As we get older, our faces tend to, for men, our brows get bushy, and for women, we seem to lose our brows. And so this would apply to both men and women, is to apply your brow. You can use whatever product you want, but you want to make sure to keep the brow open and the arch high on an older face. On a younger face, you can generally follow the shape of your eyebrow. But on an older face, you want to keep the arch high, and you don't want to go too deeply into the eye. You can see me going, no, don't go any lower than that. You want to keep that arch high, and you want to keep the shape arched. Everything on the up is what that would be called. You can see I'm not going any lower, where normally we might go a little lower. We want to keep that oriented basically with the lashes. So this is a little higher arch than I might do, but from Seat 200, you'll be able to see my facial expressions really well. Next thing we're going to apply is our contour. I am using a 3-color palette. This is a master palette, and it has a contour, a blush, and a highlighter. I will have these available to use. I'm taking a pretty substantial brush, and I'm using it atop the shallow in my cheek. I'm going above that. For the older face, you want to keep that line above the hollow in the cheek. And what that does is you can see already it's raised my cheeks up higher. And then I'm going along the side of my nose because I have that button nose. I'm trying to create a longer nose so that from Seat 200, it'll look like my nose is nice and long. And then I'm going into the natural contour of my brow. And some people call it the line of 3, where you go above the brow and into the cheek and under the chin. And you can see I shook my head no, like don't go under the chin. You're going to go right on that chin line, especially if you have more round face like mine. You're going to want to contour just slightly above where the normal shadow would be. And that'll give your face a more pointed look. You can see my face pointed out. And then when I dip my head down, you can see how round it actually is. So from Seat 200, that'll show up. And then for an older face, you're going to keep your cheeks high. So you're going to go above the contour line and into the hairline. You can see I'm showing you that little curve, but you're not going to go onto the apples of the cheeks. That's for a younger face. So younger faces have apples of the cheeks, older faces go up above and into the hairline. And then I'm going to keep that line up into my hair. And you can see my cheeks look pretty raised now, and I don't have severe cheekbones and that kind of thing. And I'm hitting the tip of my nose because that's a habit, and I love doing that. And it just kind of makes my nose continue to look longer and less bulbous and round. And then normally I would also apply a little bit to the forehead. You can do that too. And now I'm using a highlighter brush, and I'm hitting just above where I would have put my blush on either side. And what that is to create that light from when you're in the stage lights, that light is going to pop off your face and be beautiful. You're going to put that above your eyes too, and then you're going to hit the tip of the nose, and you can almost immediately see my nose start like glowing, and it keeps looking longer and longer. And that's the goal for me and my nose. We're going to judge your nose the way you judge your nose. But for my nose, it's now less of a bulby round button nose and more of a longer nose, which is what I want to achieve for my look. Next, we're going to be taking the palette, and we're going to grab that dark brown and put it on the eyelid. You can see I'm keeping it right in the center. Don't want to go out to the corners. Our natural instinct is to shadow out the corners. For an older face, we do not want to do that. You want to keep that shadow into the center of your eye. You can see my eye already looks big and open. And I do understand I have pretty large eyes anyway, but you can see that like the brows are up, the eyes look big and open. You keep that stuff in the center of your eye, then it's going to keep your eyes looking bright and younger. This is the achievement because we're all bridesmaids and villagers of a certain age, and we actually want to look a little bit younger. For those of you who are younger, this application still applies, but you can actually go a little deeper into your eye if you want to. So what I've done is put the cream down, and then I'm going to be adding color later too, because I just decided that wasn't dark enough. But here I'm taking the highlight, and I'm highlighting the lid. And this is my favorite brush to apply eye makeup. So you probably see it a couple times. And then actually take a pointed brush and do that highlight again, but I'm going right at the edge of the brow. And again, this makes the eye lift, and it will highlight the area where you need to be highlighted. So from seat 200, they'll be able to see your eyes. And you can see already how my eyes starting to pop. And then I'm going to take a little darker brown, and this is the brown I use from my brows. It's my favorite brown, but you use whatever colors that match your costume, but we want to keep them as natural as possible because we're, it's Redagore. So you can see, and then I'm deepening that color, and already without lashes, you can see my eyes already look pretty big. So I'm just putting that in. And if your face is unbalanced like mine, that's where you create your balance, and you can shadow the way you want to with your eyeshadow. If you have other colors you want to add in, just keep them as neutral as possible for this show. Other shows like Iolanthe, we might be doing something a little bit brighter. This is the Ben Nye translucent powder. That's the next step. What we're going to do, this is what should come in your kit. I have 2 different kinds because I love the stuff. What you're going to do with this translucent powder, and the reason why it is so very important for men and women, is it's going to set your makeup in place so it won't move in the hot stage lights. I always start beneath my eye, and then I work my way around my face. And you can see the makeup starting to really settle in, and some of the lines you might have seen are starting to like fade away. I wish it was magic like that, but here's what we have. Then the next step is to get your lashes ready, because you're going to be applying your lashes at the end, but they should be ready. And then I'm taking the Ben Nye Fix-It spray. This is the final seal spray, and this fixes all your makeup in place. This one I recommend because it actually has this beautiful mint smell, and it dries very quickly, and your makeup will not move. This is specifically made for stage makeup. So I highly recommend you get yourself some, but I will be happy to spray your face at the end of your makeup application. What I'm using now is lash adhesive in black, and I found for myself that applying it directly to my lash line is the easiest for me. Other people would like to apply it maybe to the lashes and then set the lashes on the eye. For me, this is the easiest, and then you place your lash where you want it and adjust as necessary. Stick it down. Once you have it in place, count to 3, 1, 2, 3, and it's all set. Magic, right? Lashes are not hard to apply. I think it's just because we don't often apply them that we get concerned. But do not worry. I am here to help you. Applying to the other eye. Gentlemen, you will not be wearing lashes, so this is not a step for you. But all the other makeup stages you will technically be doing on a more masculine side of things, so we might not highlight your eyes as much. There's 1, 2, 3, and the lash is set. And you can see my eyes look huge at this point, and with this video I can see that we might need a little bit more blush on there, that we have a really good start. And if you guys can get this far, it can help you finish. Next, you're going to use that palette, and on the back of the palette, it'll tell you which one goes where, which is handy. And I'm using the lip color. And the lip color that they have on the fair is not one that is my favorite. I'm just showing you how to apply it. Men, you can use this lip color if you want to. We do want to see your lips from seat 200 in the theater, but if you have something that you want that's a little bit more neutral, you can try that. And then you can see that I look in the mirror and I'm like, ugh. So what I recommend is finding your favorite color. This is mine. Ladies, normally if you wear lipstick, this might be something that you want to try, but you can do something a little on the red side and a little deeper. We want to see eyes and lips and cheeks from the backstage of the last seat in the theater. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope it helps you.